There are 2 legendary items at the Oikos of the Olympian store for the first time, and that will be the standard from now on, as Ubisoft announced some changes to the overall system. And I was also able to interview Bruno, the live content director, and asked him about this as well, so got some nice exclusive details that I want to share here too, and there's more to discuss. So let's get into it. If you enjoyed that, then a like would be super appreciated. And let's go. Of course, a quick reminder that I'm doing a giveaway for the upcoming Abstergo Elite Gear Pack that was leaked but now actually confirmed by Amar, the Transmedia and Business Development Director for all the Canadian Ubisoft IPs, including Assassin's Creed, saying that this gear pack is canon, so also confirming its existence. So yes, I think it's coming either the coming Tuesday or the week after that. We don't know yet. Either way, you have a chance to win it by following the link in the description down below or in the pinned comments. And also make sure that you are a subscriber to the channel as well. Okay then, on to the news, because over on the official Assassin's Creed forum, Ubisoft detailed changes coming to Sargon and his Oikos of the Olympian store that you of course find over here on the map. Every week on Tuesday his store resets, and normally we got 1 legendary item from the Helix store and 3 random epic drops that you can also find in the world. Well, now since Tuesday he will sell 2 premium items from the Helix store instead of 1, and those items will no longer be a blue item. So thank the Greek gods for that. No more pre-order items or items that were part of a pizza roll promotion. No, only legendary or epic items from the Helix store, and the epic items can only be the items from the deluxe edition of the game, by the way, so like of the epic gear set or that weapon. And yes, they look pretty cool and are actually not that bad as well. But yeah, overall we will mostly see legendary items in the weekly selection. This week we, for example, got the Talon daggers from the recently released Athena pack. Some pretty cool looking daggers. I of course discussed them in my Athena pack review, where I also said that losing the 50% crit damage for 10% crit chance is not always great, like especially when trying to take out high health enemies, then you need that crit damage. If you already got a lot of crit damage though and can really use the crit chance, then this might be like a nice item to get. But overall I think it's not an insta buy, especially not for the 100 orichalcum. Yes, the other item I can be pretty short about that one, because those are the bracers of the brave that were sold not even a month ago. So high chance that you already got them. So yes, you don't really need them for the stats, but in terms of looks, they are really one of my favorite bracers in the game. So if you like them as well, then I would totally recommend them. But yeah, again, they were sold less than a month ago, so it will be interesting to see if this second slot will feature a Helix item that has never been sold before as well, or only items that appeared before. Sure, it's nice for people that just got the game, but still, 3 weeks ago seems a little too soon to like repeat these items. We will of course have to wait and see how this continues, but I think overall there being 2 Helix items every week means that you really have to make a choice, because you cannot buy both with the orichalcum that you earn that week, making doing the daily every day way more valuable than before. Because maybe you don't find an interesting item this week, well, next week there are 2 items that might be of your interest, so you want to keep that orichalcum. That was also the idea, according to the live content director, to give you more choice in what you want to buy. So yes, it's great that they are listening. Is it coincidence that I put up a video a little over a week ago discussing the problems with the ecosystem? I don't know, the timing is interesting for sure. The forum post from Ubisoft, by the way, continues, because they are also looking into the possibility to adjust the drop rates of the items from the Olympian gifts. So the forum post doesn't go into more details, but I asked Bruno and I was already able to learn what they are trying to achieve. If you opened many Olympian gifts, then you know that every 6th item or every 5th item is something from the Helix store, while all the other items that you get in between that are like random epic drops. So how it works right now is that some Helix store items have a higher chance of appearing than others. Bruno noticed that gear pieces have a slightly better chance, but also the naval content as well. And I especially see the naval content like pop up way more often. Well, that is what they want to change, to have the same drop chance for all the Helix store items in an Olympian gift. So they have the same amount of chance to get the boom mount versus a random naval item, while right now the naval items have more chance of being that 5th or 6th item. So that is totally a step in the right direction, and we should see this change in the coming weeks. And I, by the way, asked if the blue items will stay in these gifts as well, and Bruno said yes, because according to him people actually want them too. And I totally get that, because it does give a unique look. Like, I love the quiver from this Trachean bow, for example. Of course, you would still prefer an awesome legendary item or that cool mount as a drop from these gifts, but I do see why they still want to give people the option to get the pre-order items without like paying extra money. And again, they will not be appearing in the weekly selection, so that is totally great. I think that overall these changes sound good. They are an improvement for sure. Curious to see how big of an impact the Olympian gift changes will be, but we will find out in the coming weeks. They, by the way, also discussed like having maybe multiple gifts with different items inside, but they decided against it, so it's not something that will happen. Before we go talk about the weekly contracts and some new info I got on how that system works, I wanted to note that something else happened. In a recent video we talked about the changes to the in-game economy with things like the contracts rewarding you way less drag me than before, while for example the arena now gives more money than it did before update 1.14. And in that video we also discussed the recent assassin damage nerf, where my assassin loadout went from more than 180,000 damage to 150,000 damage, and way more people actually had issues with that. Well, Ubisoft applied a hotfix, so if you check your assassin gear right now, then you should have the same assassin damage as you had before the update. So it's nice to see that they quickly resolved that. So now you can take out that live event mercenary with one hit again, and I don't do that during my weekly reset live stream every Tuesday here on the channel because that would be boring. But yes, you likely already killed him, right? A new mercenary who is in town, Ariete, the winner, and I hope I pronounced that right. Well, I can tell you one thing, he did not win in my battle. Of course, you can find the contract on the message board. You need to be like level 30 and up to hunt him down. And I now try to make it a habit to recruit these enemies as well. And I had a legendary one the last time. Well, this one is epic, like most of these live event mercenaries. It's really random. Either way, he drops this tanky belt with the extra health and armor. So again, nice for a build where you want to take as much hits as possible. During my interview, I also asked about these targets and the weekly ships that of course happen every other week. Next week, we for example got the Paleotyrus design. So yes, it will be cool to get that one for sure. But all these fights are really similar, especially the ships that always have two pirate ships like guarding them. And that is likely going to continue this way, as Bruno noted that they cannot like tweak that much to these fights to make them really feel differently. Just like for the mercenaries, like some had special perk combinations that we haven't seen before, but the reality is that they still feel similar to all the other mercenaries that you encounter in the game. So just a heads up that this system will likely remain the same as we go on. We can mostly wear the gear that the mercenaries are wearing as well, but some of these new mercenaries have special gear that we cannot use yet. So I asked if we can expect like new items that these mercenaries are wearing, that we can like wear them ourselves as well. So some of these gear pieces will really be unique to these soldiers to make them kind of stand out as well. But Ubisoft is trying to make as much of these gear pieces available as possible. So really nothing concrete, but hopefully we get more looks for the epic gear pieces in the future. I also learned more about the weekly contract system. So in December they announced that they got some new ones coming, and then we got two cool new ones, and after that it kind of like went back to the regular, less exciting contracts. Well, that is because the contracts appear to be random. So where the weekly mercenary and ships are like new each week, these contracts rotate, meaning that even if Ubisoft adds, let's say, 4 new ones, then they will not like appear in the first 4 weeks. No, they're just added to this pool and then the game selects one randomly each week. So we recently saw the new Kratos weekly contract. That was a new one, and now this week we got the No More Red one that has a scale of 50 Spartan soldiers. So just do a conquest battle for Athens and then you're good to go. And you also need to destroy 25 Spartan ships. So going to regions taken over by Sparta and like sailing close to the borders is the best way to go. But 25 can take a while for sure. You can always put the game on easy, of course, to make it go faster, but Bruno noted that he's not completely happy with the contracts yet, and that's mostly because of the grindy nature. He wants people that just spend some time with the game each week to be able to complete these contracts as well, and 25 Spartan ships is not something that you can easily complete without like really grinding for it. So what I can see happen is that the required target numbers will go down so that we only need 10 ships, for example. Nothing really confirmed on that front, but it is something that he discussed. So I think that we're moving towards that. The most interesting thing is, of course, that we now learned that the contracts like rotate and are random. So even if they add new ones, it doesn't mean that we immediately see those new ones. And yes, now that we got that newly earned Oikos, let's spend it on these Olympian gifts to see if we can finally get the freaking Hades Lieutenant. Of course, subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on everything Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I learned way more during that interview, also about future DLC, the Atlantis thing, and other features coming to the game. And I will talk more about that in future videos. So again, subscribe to miss nothing, like the video to support the channel. And now, as always, let's go to Sargon to see what he's up to and if he can finally give me what I want. I haven't changed my outfit since I completed the episode 3 of the Legacy of the First Blade. Like it a lot. Okay, Sargon, yes, we know that you are selling that, but we want to immediately go to the Olympian gift and see if we can finally get something awesome. The Traveler Shroud. Assassin movement speed, crit damage. I'm not sure about the movement speed. You don't really need that, of course, for the extra damage. This one is not that great. Athenian soldier. This one is pretty good, though. Pretty good. But yeah, that is not what we came for. So I'm curious, like, if I will get the Hades Lieutenant before these changes to the drop rates will be applied. I actually think, now for me it doesn't really matter because I only need some naval items. I got most of the Helix Store items, of course, to review it here on the channel, but only time will tell. Of course, subscribe to stay up to date on that and everything else. Odyssey, like the video to support channel. Check out that giveaway on the Abstergo pack and my recent video on a Prince of Persia inspired sword that is really, really powerful. I will speak to you next time and goodbye.